Okay, so today it's time to talk about the most inconsistent UFC fighters currently on the roster. The type of fighters that you can never trust to put on your parlay. They will sink that shit every time, okay? The type of fighter who goes on to win one, lose one, gets a good win just when you think they're making a career-changing moment, they lose the next fight. You cannot believe in them to go on a win streak. And yeah, these are the most inconsistent UFC fighters. Let's start first with the fighter who actually inspired this video idea, alright? Ryan the Superman Span. How dare you rep the Superman name doing that dumb shit I saw this weekend. Bro, I don't understand. I don't know if he's depressed. I don't know if he's having personal problems. No hate to the guy, but dude, this is the most inconsistent UFC fighter I've ever seen in my life. Like, Ryan Spann is so athletic, so powerful, so dangerous, has submission threats, but his IQ is so bad. Like, the decisions he makes in those fights are insane. This weekend, he gets rocked by the fat-ass Ortez Acosta, and his reaction to getting rocked is to throw a floppy, fluky, ugly ass spinning back kick that misses, stumbles him off his feet, makes him stumble across the octagon. Like, I just don't understand this guy. After he ended his 3-fight skid streak, getting a submission win finally at 205, he's like, okay, I won at 205 finally. Let's move up to heavyweight on some momentum where I'll have the skill, lightman skill, and speed advantage. And yeah, let's take over heavyweight. Let's have a second chance in my career to go on a big win streak. And this dude fucking comes in fatter than Costa. Heavyweights are known for being fat. The fucking advantage you have coming up to heavyweight is you're quick, you're athletic, you're actually in shape, you have good cardio. And this dude comes in with 20 pounds extra of fat and gasses in the first round. Dude, like, Ryan Spann is an anomaly. I don't know if he was just sick of the weight cut or something and thought heavyweight was a free excuse to stuff his face with anything he wanted because all the other heavyweights are fat. He's like, oh, it's normal. I'll do fine. I just don't understand. This dude is a good, skilled fighter. But now he's getting finished by people like Ortez Acosta, who can't finish anyone on his win streak. Like, the Salsa Boy is not that bad of a fighter. Like, it's not that shameful losing to him at all. But if you're going to lose to a heavyweight by finish, it's not supposed to be him. This dude has pillow hands at heavyweight. How's that even fucking possible? I don't know. You know, I feel for Ryan Spann because he just can't put it together. He has the build. He has the ability to do good at heavyweight. But he comes in fat and yeah, he's been kind of inconsistent his whole career. Ever since his initial win streak in the UFC got ended by Johnny Walker, of all people. He's just been a win one, lose two, win two, lose two type of fighter. And it's unfortunate. He's skillful, man. Came in and gassed in one round. That shit pissed me off. I thought he was a good underdog this weekend. He wasn't. He looked so bad. And his idea to win the fight is to exchange on the feet, throwing big, wild, just exchanging in the pocket punches like the whole first round, and he gassed after doing it. I just don't know. This dude's so inconsistent, and yeah, there's not much else to say. I think everyone realizes this. He's not reliable. He's inconsistent. He's so skillful, so good, but he just can't put it together, kid. The next fighter I want to talk about is good old touchy-feely. All right, Andre Fili, man. Dude, this dude has not been on a win streak since 2019, and we all love Andre Fili. He's exciting. And the thing that pisses me off most is this kid is good. This dude is really good. He's skilled. He's good. He has good wins. He's beat good people. But he just is so... I don't know if it just gets in his head that he's on a win. He cannot win 2 fights in a row. If he's on a loss, he's probably going to win, though. That loss motivation to stay in the UFC and not get cut, it really gives him that grit and that biting down on the mouthpiece ability all of a sudden. You know, I just don't understand because this dude still is getting impressive wins and having good performances now. He just was coming off of a really good win against Cub Swanson, like kickboxing him up for 3 rounds, beating him clearly. Really good showing, especially since he still got it. And just when you think he was going to have a second half of his career, just had a kid, Charles Oliveira type shit, you know, have a comeback, go on a good win streak finally, He's going against McQuizzle Costa. What does he do? He takes him down and gives the kid a free guillotine win. He literally put his head in there, let him have the submission. It wasn't even a bad takedown. He just didn't pull his head out. He just left it in there. Like, I'm fine here. I'm fine, right? Dude, again, I think it's just his IQ, man. He chooses to strike and trade with Danny Yake, gets knocked out cold, shoots a takedown on a submission guy, lets him have the guillotine, and thinks it won't lead to anything. And of course it does. He gets subbed, taps. Fuck, man. I really like Andre Fili, so this hurts, but he's one of the most inconsistent fighters on the UFC still. Just win one, lose one, win one, lose one. He can't go on a win streak. You can't put him on your parlay. He will sink it. I feel bad, but you know, if if the win streaks, if it's ever going to happen, it's now, all right? The win streak starts now. Next, I want to talk about Brendan Allen. Fuck, I'm starting to realize this is just all low IQ fighters. They all just have low IQs. That's why they're inconsistent, man. We got to start doing IQ tests, but yeah, Brendan Allen was riding a 7-fight win streak where he gaslit all of us into believing he was going to be a title challenger in the future. Subbed Paul Craig, which is crazy impressive. Outboxed Chris Curtis, which, you know, is not the most impressive. Chris Curtis is kind of bad. He almost made this list too, but he's just too bad to even make it. Yeah, you're not consistently good enough to be inconsistent enough, you know. But Brendan Allen, man, he's really good. Again, all these fighters are so good, but their IQ and their decision making, they just can't put it together. I picked Brendan Allen against Nasruddin Imavov. I felt like a fucking retard after that, man. Dude, like, he gaslit me into thinking he was top level. And he kind of is, but now coming off of a 2-fight loss streak, losing to Fluffy, just getting out grappled, not really being able to threaten submissions. Did well in the first round, ended the first round well with some good ground and pound and top control. But, you know, he just can't put it together. He's very inconsistent. He's having a lot of close fights in his win streak as well, if you look back at it. He is good. He's not as inconsistent as these other fighters, but going on a 7-fight win streak and then a 2-fight loss streak, I think he's going to go for a good 7-fight loss streak at this point because, I don't know, man. Like, who's he going to fight next? Who's he going to fight next? Roman Dolidze? Like, no, Roman Dolidze probably deserves higher up. I don't know. He's just so inconsistent. His decision-making makes no sense. He's outstriking someone, and then he shoots takedowns, grabbing their ankles for no reason when he's outstriking them. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about Brendan Allen, man. I like him. I think he's overhated. Is he kind of cringe? Yes. Is he kind of unself-aware of how he sounds sometimes, the things he says? Is he kind of a hillbilly? Yeah. The braids stupid looking? Yeah. But he's pretty good, man. He's just very inconsistent. Next, we got Jeff Neal. And yeah, I'm really starting to realize I should just name this video Low IQ Fighters because they all have low IQs and their decision making makes them lose their fights. Jeff Neal is literally a championship level type of fighter. Has a win over Bilal Muhammad. Has one of the closest fights with Shavkat Rakhmonov where he hurt him multiple times, almost finished him a few times. Yeah, this dude is a championship level fighter. He just makes the dumbest decisions. Like, he goes to war, beats the shit out of Shavkat for 3 rounds. Obviously, Shavkat's beating the shit out of him as well. That was a very good fight, very back and forth. And then he just gets subbed out of nowhere. You know, that's not bad. That's not a bad look. That's not inconsistent. But then, after showing his power, showing his boxing technique, believing in it, in this next fight, he goes in scared shitless of Ian Gary, chasing him instead of cutting off the octagon, not fighting like he usually does, and losing a 30-27 decision to Ian Gary. And that really pissed me off because I wanted Ian Gary to lose so bad earlier in his win streak. But he was the guy to beat Ian Gary. Power puncher with an iron wall of takedown defense. No one can take him down, let alone hold him there. Crazy takedown defense. Good boxing. Powerful hands. Really powerful hands. They don't call them... what do they call them? Steel. Hands of Steel Neal? I don't even know, man. Dude, he has the potential to be a champion. I still think he does. But one performance, he's doing that against Ian Gary, chasing him, not fighting smart, not cutting off the octagon, letting him run away and leg kick him at range. And then in his next fight, he's just walking forward, believing in his boxing, cutting off the octagon and knocking the fuck out of Rafael dos Anjos, dropping him every 30 seconds, just making it look easy. And I get it. Ian Gary's not that bad. He had the Izzy type of performance against him where he just backed up, used his range, used his distance management really well. It's not the worst look losing to Ian Gary. It really isn't. But I just think he could have beat Ian Gary. He could have knocked him out, man, if he just fought smarter. And yeah, I think he still is a championship type level of fighter. He could still go on a streak. I hope he does. But this dude's losing to fucking Neil Magny in his career too. Like, how? You should be knocking the fuck out of Neil Magny. Just low IQ fighting creates for a very inconsistent career. There's not much else to say. Next, we got to talk about Derek Lewis. Okay, this shit's a try not to laugh challenge watching him fight. I swear. Derek Lewis, man. He's either going to gas in one round, come in fat, blobby, plotty, not throw anything, and just get subbed or controlled for a few rounds and lose. Or he's going to knock the fuck out of you in the first round. You know, or he's going to come back in the third or fourth or fifth round and knock you out with his second win that he gets all the time. I don't know how or where he gets it. Derek Lewis will gas in the first round, be tired for the next 2 rounds, and then in championship rounds in the Apex, mainlining against a bum, he will come back, have a second gust of wind, and knock him out in the fourth or fifth round. It happens all the time. And it makes me sad because Derek Lewis should be beating more people. He shouldn't be losing to the polar bear, you know? He's losing to a lot of good people at heavyweight as well. Not that there's many, but he's still one of the most dangerous punchers at heavyweight. He has the most knockouts in UFC history. You know, that says enough. I don't need to say much else with that. But yeah, Derek Lewis, you can't trust him, man. Don't put him on your parlay. This dude's either going to come in fat, I can't say that. He ate a bunch of Thanksgiving feast before this training camp, and he just never burned it off because he hates doing cardio. Don't we all? But man, you got to do it, all right? This dude cutting down to 265 every fight. Fuck, man. Stop being obese, okay? Just come in 10 or 15 pounds more in shape, and you will beat all of these heavyweight newbies. I swear to God he will. He'll knock them all out. Next, we got Brian Ortega. Oh my God, man. Brian Ortega. Fuck me. What do I even say about this kid? He's either gonna he's gonna sub you after taking a bunch of damage and just gassing you out with his face and sub you beautifully because his submission threat is insane. Or he's gonna get the piss beat out of him for 5 long rounds or 3 rounds, whatever. It just is insane the amount of damage this kid can take. He takes so much of it against Volk, Max, Diego Lopez, just gets the piss beat out of him and refuses to get knocked out. So I guess he's consistent in his chin and ability to not get knocked out, but he either comes in there and looks like the submission artist of the year, or he comes in there and looks like a punching bag. And he comes in skinny fat now. What happened, man? Why are you not in shape? You're a UFC fighter. It's rough. It sucks. Brian Ortega's a cool guy, but he's so inconsistent, and he'll probably never really go on a good win streak again in his career because he doesn't have the wrestling to mix in with his jiu-jitsu. He just doesn't, okay? Maybe if he trained some more takedowns, he'd be able to submit a few more people, but that's the only way he's going to win. He has decent boxing, but it's never going to amount to a decision win. His face is too hittable. He's going to lose against any good striker, and if he can't submit them, he's just going to keep losing. This kid is inconsistent as it gets. Next, we have to talk about Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane. Yeah. Do I need to explain much to you? He's either filming movies or he's being a classic Frenchman and throwing fights because he threw the John Jones fight. No, I'm just kidding. But that John Jones loss, after the win streak he went on, after the skill he showed, because he does have skill. One of the most athletic and fast heavyweights we've ever seen. One of the most quickest heavyweights we've ever seen. I mean, that all gets shown up by Tom Aspinall now, obviously. He'd KO him in 1, but that's not important, man. That's not important. Tom Aspinall's not here. He's very consistent with his finishes. Ciryl Gane is so inconsistent with his career, man. Comes and gets subbed easily by Jones, takes a year off, comes and gets a nice knockout, demands a title shot. Disgusting after that first title shot you got, or it wasn't even his first, because the whole Francis fights, but you know, man, this dude could be champion. But at this point, after his most recent performance against Volkov, got injured, probably going to be out for another year, who knows. This guy's just so inconsistent, and I'm sick of it. He needs to lock in now before it's too late. Lastly, I got to talk about my boy Anthony Lionheart Smith. This dude is the flukiest flukester ever. You know, he'll go from having a really competitive fight with Khalil Roundtree, who just challenged for the title and had a really good showing, making it competitive on the feet, hurting Khalil Roundtree, making him look plotty at times, maybe not winning rounds, but still doing a good showing and showing a very good self. And then he'll go and have the performance of his year, of his fucking decade. He hasn't had a performance like this in a while. He'll sub an undefeated prospect who's supposed to knock him out in Victor Petrino. Sub him, make it look easy, boom, done. And then he'll come back and just not believe in himself at all. Think it's all fun and games in there, not even try, it looks like, and just lose against Roman Dolidze, the double threat. Oh my god, I can't believe he said that. And then yeah, he'll come in against Dominic Reyes and want to lose, literally a punching bag for Dominic Reyes. Obviously his coach died, that's not his fault, but this dude's just inconsistent as it comes, and it's unfortunate because Lionheart's actually skilled. He has good wins, could have took the belt off Jones if he wanted, chose not to, you know, very humble, gracious guy. To let Jones keep it. Very nice of him. But it hurts to know that this guy's going to retire soon after his next fight. Maybe we'll see. He might not, you know. Lionheart does what he wants, all right? But yeah, these are the most inconsistent UFC fighters. I think these were some pretty good picks. These guys, you can't trust them, man. And you can't believe in them either, all right? I'll see you guys in the next one.